The Spanish royal family is once again thrust into the spotlight as shocking revelations emerge about Queen Letizia's abrupt return from what was supposed to be a peaceful private vacation. What started as a well-deserved break for the hardworking queen has transformed into a royal scandal that has left palace insiders stunned and the Spanish public questioning what really goes on behind the gilded doors of the Zarzuela Palace. Sources close to the royal household reveal that Queen Letizia was forced to abandon her carefully planned private getaway under circumstances so extraordinary that even seasoned royal watchers are struggling to piece together the full story. The former journalist-turned-queen, who has always maintained strict control over her public image, found herself in a situation that would test even the most experienced member of any royal family. The drama began to unfold when Queen Letizia departed Madrid for what palace officials described as a brief personal retreat, designed to help her recharge after months of intensive royal duties. Those familiar with her schedule know that Letizia rarely takes time for herself, making this vacation all the more significant. She had been looking forward to this break for weeks, having cleared her calendar and made arrangements for other family members to cover her official engagements. However, just 48 hours into her much-needed respite, everything changed. Palace insiders describe a series of urgent phone calls that began in the early morning hours, with royal staff scrambling to locate the queen and inform her of developing situations that required her immediate attention. The nature of these calls remains shrouded in mystery, but their urgency was unmistakable. What makes this situation particularly intriguing is Queen Letizia's reaction to being recalled. Those who witnessed her response describe a level of frustration and anger rarely seen from the typically composed queen. Staff members report that she was visibly agitated during the hurried preparations for her return, leading to speculation about the true nature of the crisis that demanded her presence. The Queen's journey back to Madrid was reportedly tense, with her usual entourage maintaining an unusual silence throughout the trip. Flight records show that the royal aircraft made the return journey in record time, suggesting the urgency of the situation. Upon landing, Queen Letizia was whisked away in a convoy of vehicles that bypassed the usual protocol routes, taking her directly to an undisclosed location for what sources describe as emergency meetings. The timing of this incident has raised numerous questions among royal observers. Queen Letizia had specifically chosen this period for her vacation because it coincided with a relatively quiet time in the royal calendar, with no major state functions or official visits scheduled. The fact that she was forced to return suggests that whatever crisis emerged was both unexpected and significant enough to override her personal time. Palace communications have been notably sparse regarding the specifics of Queen Letizia's return, fueling speculation across Spanish media outlets. Official statements have been limited to generic references about the Queen's commitment to her duties, but these carefully crafted messages have done little to quell the growing curiosity about what really happened. Royal protocol experts point out that it is extremely rare for a monarch or senior royal to be recalled from personal time unless there is a genuine crisis affecting the crown or the nation. This precedent makes Queen Letizia's situation all the more extraordinary and suggests that whatever prompted her return was considered a matter of utmost importance by palace officials. The Queen's demeanor upon her return has been a subject of intense scrutiny. Photographers and royal watchers who caught glimpses of her described a noticeable change in her usual composed public persona. Her typically warm smile seemed forced, and her interactions with staff appeared more businesslike than usual. These subtle but telling signs have only added to the speculation surrounding the circumstances of her return. Security arrangements around the Queen have also been noticeably heightened since her return from the aborted vacation. Additional personnel have been observed at royal residences, and her public appearances have featured enhanced security protocols. While palace officials maintain that these are routine adjustments, royal security experts suggest that such changes are typically implemented only when there are specific concerns about safety or security. The impact on Queen Letizia's scheduled activities has been significant. Several upcoming engagements have been quietly rescheduled or modified, and her public appearances have been limited to only the most essential functions. This adjustment to her calendar represents a dramatic shift from her typically packed schedule and suggests that the aftermath of whatever crisis prompted her return continues to require her attention. Staff members at the palace have been notably tight-lipped about the incident, with many reportedly signing additional confidentiality agreements in the wake of the Queen's return. This unusual step suggests that palace officials are particularly concerned about information regarding this incident becoming public, adding another layer of intrigue to an already mysterious situation. The Spanish press has been working overtime to uncover details about Queen Letizia's forced return, with investigative journalists pursuing various leads and sources. However, the usual network of palace insiders who typically provide background information to media outlets has remained unusually quiet, suggesting that whatever happened carries significant sensitivity. International royal correspondents have also taken notice of the situation, with several prominent publications beginning to investigate the circumstances surrounding Queen Letizia's aborted vacation. The global interest reflects the unusual nature of the incident and the Queen's typically transparent approach to her royal duties, making this departure from normal protocol all the more noteworthy. The financial implications of the Queen's sudden return have also raised questions. The costs associated with activating emergency protocols, recalling staff from their own time off, and reorganizing security arrangements represent a significant unplanned expense for the royal household. Such expenditures typically require approval from senior palace officials, indicating the seriousness with which this situation was treated. Queen Letizia's personal relationships within the royal family have come under scrutiny in light of this incident. Observers note that King Felipe's public statements during this period have been notably brief and formal, lacking the warmth typically present when discussing family matters. This change in tone has led to speculation about potential tensions within the royal household related to whatever crisis prompted the Queen's return. The broader implications for the Spanish monarchy's public image cannot be understated. Queen Letizia has worked tirelessly to modernize the Crown's relationship with the Spanish people, and any suggestion of crisis or instability within the royal household could potentially impact public perception of the institution. Palace communication strategists are reportedly working to minimize any negative fallout from this incident. Royal historians have noted that similar incidents in other monarchies have often preceded significant changes or announcements. The pattern of crisis, recall, and subsequent restructuring of royal duties has been observed in several European royal houses over the past decades, leading to speculation about what changes might emerge from Queen Letizia's current situation. The Queen's health has also become a topic of concern and speculation. The stress of being forced to return from vacation, combined with whatever crisis prompted the recall, could have significant impacts on her well-being. Medical experts familiar with the pressures faced by senior royals emphasize the importance of adequate rest and recovery time, making the interruption of her vacation particularly concerning from a health perspective. Technology and social media have played a significant role in amplifying interest in this story. Despite palace efforts to control information flow, details and speculation continue to circulate online, with royal watchers and enthusiasts sharing theories and observations about Queen Letizia's situation. This digital attention has created additional pressure on palace officials to provide more transparency about the circumstances. The diplomatic implications of Queen Letizia's forced return have also begun to emerge. Several international visits and engagements have been quietly postponed or rescheduled, suggesting that whatever crisis occurred may have broader ramifications for Spain's international relationships. Diplomatic sources indicate that foreign governments have made discreet inquiries about the Queen's status and availability for scheduled events. Staff loyalty within the palace has been tested by this incident, with reports of increased tensions among different departments and levels of the royal household. The stress of managing crisis communications while maintaining normal operations has reportedly strained relationships and created an atmosphere of uncertainty about future stability within the organization. Queen Letizia's typically rigorous daily routine has been significantly altered since her return, with many of her regular activities suspended or modified. This change represents a departure from her well-established patterns and suggests that the ongoing situation continues to require her focused attention and energy. The economic impact on Spain's tourism industry, which benefits significantly from royal family activities and public appearances, has begun to be felt as Queen Letizia's reduced schedule affects planned events and celebrations. Tourism officials are monitoring the situation closely, as royal-related activities contribute substantially to the country's cultural tourism sector. Legal experts have also weighed in on the situation, noting that the extraordinary circumstances of Queen Letizia's recall may have implications for royal protocols and procedures. The precedent set by this incident could influence how similar situations are handled in the future and may prompt reviews of existing crisis management procedures within the royal household. As this unprecedented situation continues to develop, One question remains at the forefront of everyone's mind. What crisis was so significant that it forced Queen Letizia to abandon her private vacation and return to face whatever storm awaited her at the palace? And how will this dramatic turn of events reshape the future of the Spanish royal family?